Hello, everyone. This is Super E Master here. Welcome to the 2014 AAA 400 at Dover live stream here. Today I'll be covering the race, and hopefully, as I as I post the link in the description right now, as I post the link, yeah. So as of now, the link is now in the description. So now anyone can join if they are interested. So anyway, so we're here at Dover here. The Dover this chase race at Dover is a lot more important than all the other chase races at Dover because this race, it's the last race in the contender round. After this race, we'll eliminate 4 drivers. We have Hamlin, Kurt Busch, Biffle, and Amarola in those 4 drivers in the danger zone. And I've also noticed about how a lot of chasers are starting like around like mid pack today. They're starting in like the teens or like the 20s. So some chasers, a lot of chasers, if they're going to get finishes and going to either keep themselves from getting eliminated or if they're trying to get out that like last 4, they're going to have to move up the field and get inside that top 10. I think when it comes to drivers like Almirola and Biffle and Hamlin and Kurt Busch, they'll have to get like solid, like if they're not going to win, they're going to have to get like a solid like top 5, 3 finish maybe. I think that's the best those 4 drivers can do if they're not going to win. But we'll just see here. We have 400 laps here. Dover is a track that to me will either live or die. The races here will either be hello.
Stop.
Hi.
I wish I could win the race. I really wish.
So as I was saying, Dover is a track that will either live or die. Some of its races have been spectacular, but then some of its races have been kind of forgettable. So we'll just see.
I pray to God this will be a great race. I actually hope it's going to be a bad race because if it's a good race, I'd miss something good. Because I could have been there, sorry. Uh-oh. Could Kyle Busch lead the first, 100 laps?
Okay, so here we go here. So I think we're going to have at least one more lap. One more caution lap here, and then we'll go green. But we have chases Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick here. Actually, Kevin Harvick starts on the pole. Kyle Busch at second here. Both of those drivers were 2 drivers that were dominant in the spring, but they both had some problems. Kyle Busch hit the wall, and Kevin Harvick at half flat tire.
Hey, race series. When will race 1 be?
Wait, what did you say?
When will race 1 be for your NR 2003 series?
Well, I did see your comment. If you watched the video, it said sometime this week for all 3 series.
Oh, alright. Be good. It's gonna be good. Pray to God that I do good. Did you already do the races or not yet?
Wait, what did you say? Did you already do your what?
Do the races.
No, not the races. I may possibly record a race maybe tonight, but I don't know. I could record a race tonight maybe.
6, Denny Hamlin, 6 Chicago, 37th at New Hampshire. And I gotta check football too. I gotta check my fantasy leagues.
Okay, so here we go.
Here we go. Oh God, I wish I could have went. It sucks. Here we go.
Okay, so here we go here. So we're gonna see what type of racing we'll see today here. We got pretty jammed house here at Dover. So here we go here. Harvick starts on the outside, Kyle Busch on the inside. Harvick will lead to the field here on green flag. Here we go, green flag at Dover. The final race in the contender round begins.
Here
we go. Here we go. Down into turn number 1. Harvick, Kyle Busch blast away from the field. But Harvick will grab the lead. Kyle Busch will now trail him. Here comes Keselowski now. And Denny Hamlin is in 4th place. Denny Hamlin is going to need a good top 5 today if he's going to get himself out of that Final 4.
It's already lap 3, isn't it? I thought we already. Never mind. Wait, how many laps are it? It still says lap 1, but it's past lap 1.
Yeah. Technical issues.
That's not bad for the entire race. It's just gonna say lap 1. Lap 4, there we go. Thank you. Oh, it said 398. Now they changed it to 400. Wow.
Well, yeah. So technical issues with the technical issues with the scoreboard.
Kansas with the lead with the whatever position.
Okay, yeah. So the scoreboard or ticker is having issues.
Ugh. Let me get on my bed so I can lay down more.
So when we look at the top 10 right now, the only non-chaser right there is Jamie McMurray. And Jamie McMurray, last time we were here, made some pretty big news of kicking up some like concrete back in June.
Where did Tony start?
I don't. Yeah.
Let's see who's gonna win. Who's your pick, Breathy?
My pick is Jimmy Johnson. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would like it to be Jimmy Johnson.
Hey, he could sweep it. I pray to God that Kevin Harvick does, but
I think Jimmy Johnson has a top 5 car.
Yeah, he does. He definitely.
He's just got to learn. He's just got to learn how to be his. He's just got to learn how to be his competition here. He may want to hope for what happened in June for everyone in front of him to have like issues maybe.
Hey, he won at least.
Yeah.
He got like a run. It was like Kansas, Kentucky, or any like 1.5 mile track. Even though Dover's not 1.5 miles, it's a mile. Like once you get on that turn, you're gonna lead by like 5 seconds. I hate those tracks so much.
Wait, you don't like Dover?
Oh, I love Dover. I love Dover.
Oh, so you don't like Kentucky?
Yeah, I hate Kentucky so much.
Well, yeah. I mean,
track, it's my home track, so an amazing track. I can never win, even though I can never win on like NASCAR 14, because it's like you get wrecked like every lap because the AIs just come down and wreck you. He already has like a 2.5 second lead.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so Harvick has pulled a 1 second lead. So Harvick has pulled a 1 second lead away from second place Brad Keselowski.
Is it just us two in the stream?
Wait, what did you say?
How many people are watching the stream?
2. one of those is me because I actually have like two screens. I have the Google Hangout screen. I have the Google Hangout stream, and then I have the stream of watching on YouTube.
How many people, is it just you and I in the stream, or that's
Uh, someone else is here.
oh, never knew.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
I'm playing the iOS game, so I did not know.
Okay. Okay. So when we look at our top 10 now, we have two non-chasers, McMurray and Boyer, and they're
Danica, she's like up there.
wait. Oh yeah, she started 13th, but fell back to 16th. So Brian Vickers sneaks his way into the top 10 now. So okay, so Harvick's lead has pretty much stayed consistent after a while. He hasn't really like pulled away much further from Brad Keselowski, and now slowly Brad Keselowski is starting to catch Harvick.
Oh, by the way, guys, I think it's like 4 or 5. If you guys hear me screaming, I apologize because one, I'm gonna have the NASCAR race on, and I'm also gonna have the Eagles game on, so I'm gonna be screaming my lungs out because they're my favorite team. So if
The Eagles, really?
I'm not gonna scream my lungs out, but
She can't control herself, Raj.
Okay. Okay. So when we look at top. Okay. So Keselowski is slowly reeling in Kevin Harvick. So Keselowski is slowly reeling in Harvick here as we're on lap 18, I believe.
I'm tired.
So, okay. Okay, and now we're here, and now we started to catch some live traffic here, as now we're back to the coverage. Okay, so okay, so Harvick passed Alex Bowman, and now Harvick is catching David Strimmy, I believe. Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi.
You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Hi.
Pretty clearly.
Okay. So Harvick
Okay, that is good.
Okay, so Harvick is playing Landon Castle. Josh Wise will be next on the list. Okay, so we're seeing our first set of lap. So of course we're seeing our first sets of lap traffic here. The question is that in this race, for this race, how many cautions are we gonna see? How many chasers are we gonna see have issues? Because we saw in the first two chase races, Chicagoland and New Hampshire, we saw both those races. They didn't have a lot of cautions early, and then all of a sudden, past the halfway point, we saw like caution after caution after caution.
Caution after caution.
And another caution. Yeah, how many red flags were there?
Last week New Hampshire had like 15 cautions, and 13 of those 15 cautions came past halfway.
How many red flags
Surprisingly.
did they have at Dover in June?
Wait, what did you say?
How many red flags did they have in Dover last Dover race? Isn't that
They,
three?
they had I believe they had like 2.
Yeah, because of pavement, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the race. I thought it was 3, but I might be wrong.
Okay, so here we are here. So we're seeing Kensip. So we're seeing Kensip and Logano here. Logano is in 12. Logano is in 12.
Danica's almost in the top. Oh, I thought Danica was gonna get into the top 10.
No. No. She
16th.
started. She started 13th and then fell back to 16th. So, yeah.
I thought I saw like a green and orange icon on the screen. Moved to 11th.
Okay. Okay, so Logano is in 11th place, which is kind of surprising because we expect, because I think a lot of us expected Logano to run better. So as of right now,
He's never won well, he's won nationwide races at Dover, but I don't think he's ever won.
no,
Yeah,
he's
never
not.
went over in a cup
No,
side.
no,
Never.
no, he's not. This race 5 years ago, Logano flipped.
Yeah, like
I remember
I was
that.
so wondering, like, how did the car actually turn over, anyways?
Well,
Like, how did it flip?
Logano. Well, what happened was that they were it was after a restart, and then we were on the back straightaway, and Logano got shuffled and got hit, and got hit by Tony Stewart in the back. Then he went spinning. Then he went spinning through the grass, and then came back up in front of the racetrack, into a few cars like Martin Truex Jr. And a few others, but what caused him to flip was that his car, his rear end got lifted up in the air and onto his side and did a few barrel rolls.
There like
Jamie
some
did-
racetracks that I think
Could he
that
pass? Could he get through traffic to end up passing? What's his name? Denny Hamlin. He hasn't had good finishes. What did he finish at Chicagoland? Didn't he finish like horribly?
Well, no, I think Hamlin finished inside the top 10 at Chicagoland, and then Dover was a awful race. Not Dover, New Hampshire. Sorry.
What about Chicagoland?
yeah, it was very bad for Hamlin then.
Well,
And
as
I
I
actually
said,
saw it in the stream and last week, remember?
yes.
Well, I didn't see the first problem, but I saw the second problem.
Okay, so here we go here. So here we go here. So
9, 13, 18,
okay,
8.4.
so here we go here. So Hamlin's car, who started third, seems to be falling back just like a little bit here because Johnson is threatening Hamlin for that third spot. Okay, so
I hate that new car commercial. It's the worst.
okay.
Have you seen the new like rule changes for next year on the NASCAR stuff?
Wait, what?
The new rule changes coming next year
Yeah, I have seen those.
I didn't hear about that. What are they doing?
for the restrictor plate spoilers. They're giving it a 6-inch spoiler instead of like a 7-inch, I think.
No, they're going from 8 inches to 6 inches,
Uh,
and then
And they're reducing horsepower.
and then they're reducing horsepower from 900 to 750.
why?
I think they're doing that because I believe there have been several people complaining, saying things like, well, second place can never ever seem to catch like the leader. So
Yeah, and they're probably never going to go 200 anymore. On restricted plates, they could go 200, but I doubt it.
I think it's
anymore.
gonna be like maybe the high to low 180s, like high 180s and a low 190.
I don't know.
Do you think the actual pack speed will actually be like the low to mid 90s instead of high 190 mile an hour?
Okay. Well, what? Well, I guess I don't care. Well, I guess I don't care too much for the new rules package. I think the racing will be better next year for the Cup Series.
Well, I heard the 500 will be no longer single car qualifying, which is surprising.
Uh, okay.
Wait, they going back to single car?
No, they're gonna go with the group qualifying,
Alright,
which
so
I'm really
knockout
excited
qualifying.
about.
You're staying at knockout qualifying?
Knockout qualifying the whole year.
Thank you, God.
No, now it's gonna be interesting.
went back to
We might have like a surprise pole sitter maybe for the 500 next year.
It's probably gonna rain again, which I hate.
Yeah.
I hate it when it rains.
No, it
Who
changes every
doesn't
time.
hate
It
it?
changes like every time. So, you know, like some races, like it's like bad weather the first, then when you come there the second time, it's like completely perfect. Like Talladega last
Yeah.
year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just how they like they look at the weather though. I think they like look at the weather and stuff to make sure everything could go as planned, and if not, they probably try to get most of it in at once.
Okay. Yes. So here we go.
Oh, Almirola's about to get lapped.
Yeah. So Eric Almirola.
Was that a fart? Was that a fart or something?
What?
I heard
Oh,
like somewhat of a farting noise.
Static maybe. I don't know. Forget about it. I guess I don't know. So Eric Almirola.
357 laps to go.
So Eric Almirola, first chaser to go one lap down.
And in 3, 2, 1. Wait, nope. I think Almirola's getting a good run off the corner. That's why he's still staying on the lead lap.
Well. I think Kevin Harvick better hurry because I believe he has. Yeah, because Harvick has Keselowski like right behind him.
Now Almirola is 1 lap down. Dinger is 1 lap down. Oh no, not yet.
So Harvick better hurry because there is room for Keselowski to catch Harvick.
Hallelujah. Sorry, I'm playing Madden and I just got a touchdown. I'm doing 2 things at once.
Okay,
now the Dinger is 1 lap down.
Okay, so Harvick laps Almirola. Now he's going to go lap Allmendinger.
No, he was a lap down, but now he's fighting back. Nope, never mind. 1 lap down.
Wait, who's behind him? Okay. The Allmendinger, yes it is.
Yes.
Well, he's like, how many miles now do you, okay, I signed up for all your, racing leagues, right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So what I'll say to both of you is that just try to remember what car you have.
Oh,
Car.
I know mine's the 21, the 3, and 14.
Speaking of sign
The
up.
21 truck, the 14 Nationwide, and the 3 Cup car.
Yes. Okay. So what do you want to say,
I'm surprised that nobody got the 3 car. I'm just so lucky to grab it.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you want to say, Matthew?
Speaking of
Speaking of signups.
Yeah, even though I already signed up, but my signups, I know it's super easy to go, but do you want to sign up?
Not really. Not really. I'm not really that interested.
I would probably sign up if you're nice enough to let me.
Oh, no problem. Cars that are open are 14, 10, 9, and 15.
Wait, what numbers?
14, 10, 9, 15.
Okay.
I would do the 14.
Alright.
But can you like leave your channel link in the chat that I can subscribe,
Yeah, sure.
that I won't forget.
So as of lap 50 here,
Oh.
as of lap 50, the final 4 points are Kurt Busch, Allmendinger, Biffle, and Almirola in points. That's your final 4 that would be eliminated.
Keselowski. He's catching.
Okay, so the gap between Harvick and Keselowski has pretty much stayed consistent. I mean, Keselowski is like slowly reeling in Harvick, but who knows?
It's like
I don't know what the
it's like
I think
undecided on what numbers are there. It went down and now it's going back up. Then it's probably going to go back down again.
Well, I think what Keselowski is hoping for is for Harvick to get stuck in lap traffic and then catch him.
Harvick
but
knows how to get out of lap traffic.
Well, but both of them are using different lanes. Harvick is going up high and Keselowski is going down low.
Harvick's down low now, and he went around wise. I'm surprised that on the internet like Dogecoin actually sponsored a race car. I didn't even knew what Dogecoin was until Talladega.
Yeah, that's the only race that Dogecoin sponsors, I think.
No, it was the All-Star race. The All-Star.
That's right.
Okay, so here we go here. So now Keselowski has reeled in because Harvick has gotten stuck in traffic. And not too far behind these two is Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon in that same paint scheme he drove last week.
In the week before, and the week before that.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Okay, so Harvick gets by Paul Menard. So is Keselowski. Gordon is behind him. Johnson moves in the fourth. Kyle Busch is now in fifth.
I can't watch the Patriots tomorrow night because I got school.
Who they playing?
I think I don't really know. I don't really remember. I don't really know. I think it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers or something like that. I don't know.
No, Buccaneers are playing the Steelers now, and they're getting murdered like always. They're going to be 0-4 because they're the worst team ever.
Okay, so we look at who's moved up. Jonathan's moved up. McMurray has fallen a few positions back. So has Brian Vickers. So our top 7 are all chasers here, and then we have chasers of Kenton and Logano, and then we have a pretty big span of chasers here from Edwards Jr., Kurt Busch, Biffle, Brian Newman. Those 5 chasers take positions 15 through 21st, and then between those. In between those 2 packs are in 18th and 19th are Kyle Larson and Patrick, and then of course the other chasers Allmendinger and Almirola are laps down. The next chaser to go 1 lap down would be Chris
Chiefs.
Once I get an Amazon card, I want to try to see if I can get NASCAR Racing 2002 since on Amazon and any online shopping website, the prices are so ridiculously overpriced. So whenever I get an Amazon card, I want to see if I can get NASCAR Racing 2002.
2003 is like $100.
No, NASCAR Racing 2003 is like over $70.
Why? It's an old game.
Because it's rare. Because it's the most rare game.
Yeah.
Because it's like barely anywhere. You have to look everywhere to find the perfect price for it.
I got my copy on eBay.
Well, how much? Bet you over $50.
I got it on eBay for $60. Yeah.
That's
Dang.
how much rare it is. That's how much rare it is. It's like every year it gets more like pricier. Unlike NASCAR Racing 2002, which was not it was probably
oh,
as good in like every other game before NASCAR Racing 2003 ever came out.
we got caution. We got caution.
Uh,
For some reason, it's not saying yet.
Debris. How much more beds, debris?
Probably.
No
I'm
bad.
guessing,
I'm not betting.
spring rubber.
Debris on the track. Okay, I'm actually happy that I didn't go to this race.
Probably spring rubber.
Okay. Yes. So what's the debris? So caution number 1 comes out for debris here on lap 63.
Hey, super easy.
Yes.
For your NR 3 series, how come like for the Cup series, you're not doing like Daytona and then Phoenix and then like?
Well, I didn't. I didn't really want to copy. I
How many road courses are there in?
in the Hot Wheels Cup series, I believe there are. I'll have to go check. I'll have to go check here. I believe there are. I'll get to it here. It's loading. Let's see. There is Sonoma. There is Watkins Glen. There is well, and there's also like Mexico. I'm trying.
I'm gonna put Are you still gonna have Daytona and Talladega?
Yes, I do have Daytona Talladega. Daytona is actually the first and last race of all 3 series. Talladega.
Yeah, I wish they did that. Daytona's the first race and the last race. That'd be great.
Yeah, they should put Homestead and Daytona. Or they can have like back-to-back super speedway races.
How many races are in the seasons?
All 3 series have 26 races.
And how many chase races?
There is no chase. Chase. I'm using.
It's
what
still
Daytona
generation.
track model are you gonna use? Are you gonna use like the default one or any of the newer ones?
It's still Generation 6, right?
So wait a second. So what'd you ask for?
What kind of is Daytona and Talladega the default or any of the newer ones?
Well, I updated every track to its most recent version. So I have I have a lot of like 2014, 2012, 2013 like mods.
Are there any? Are you using Generation 6?
Yeah. Every series. Yeah, every single series uses 2014 cars.
All right, that's good. What car are you doing?
So, wait a second. So what car? So what car am I in?
Yeah.
Well, in the Hot Wheels Cup series, I'm in the A3 car. In the American Ethanol series, I'm in the zero car, and then in the truck series, I'm in the 02 car. Truck.
I'm in the 98 and I'm in the 31 Dylan Kwasniewski. I wish I was the 9 because he's my favorite. Absolute favorite.
So
hey, got Kevin Harvick, my favorite driver of all time.
well, so in these 3 series, like any other series, everyone is on it. Everyone's like ratings, and how good they are is on an equal ratio.
Continue.
So
But a restricted plate on model, what kind of is it gonna be like always like 3x3x3 or any different drafting models?
Well, I'm gonna. There's definitely going to be pack racing. There's definitely going to be big ones.
But not always 3x3.
Well, there is going to be 3 wide. There is going to be some 4 wide.
I mean,
well,
all the time.
what I will say is that at at every single track that we go to, expect a caution in the first like 5 laps. So that's what I would say.
So everyone's same rating, so anyone can win any race.
Everyone's driver ratings is equal. So that means someone like Alex Bowman is on the same equal ratings like as Brad Keselowski.
All right,
So
that's pretty good. How much is that for 2002?
wait, what'd you ask?
Well, on Amazon, I found them like almost like $10 on Amazon almost, but there's shipping and stuff. So yeah.
It's pretty much just like Enter 2003, just kind of different. It's just like a little bit different.
Maybe like the physics and stuff are the same, but it's just some of the features are different.
Green flag.
Like,
Brad Keselowski with the advantage, but here comes Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick will be the leader. He's a beast. A beast.
hopefully there's no other pavement problems like it was in June.
Yes. Yes.
Remember, this is the only track that's not the special banking. It's always some kind of banking on the.
Dover is actually the oldest surface racetrack.
It's made of what is it?
Concrete.
Yeah, concrete.
And they built the concrete back in 1995. So this surface is 19 years old.
Tomorrow's gonna be 20.
Yeah, next year, yeah.
Allgaier.
Oh, it was a save. Somebody had a save. There's Danica. I think Danica got into the wall.
Whoa, just an Allgaier.
Yeah, Allgaier got a little bit sideways. I don't know how. I didn't see it, but he got sideways somehow.
In June 1st, the June 1st race, when Justin Allgaier spun right when he was about to get onto pit road.
Okay, what's wrong with Danica?
Something up with her car.
Oh, let's see what. Oh, Kurt Busch. Oh, nope, got loose.
Kurt Busch.
Truex made her loose.
In there.
Truex made her loose.
So Patrick and Allgaier had some issues.
But now they are fine.
This is Almirola.
Okay.
He's probably not gonna get the lucky dog.
Okay, so when we look at everyone who's on the lead lap, there are 25 cars right now on the lead lap. AJ Allmendinger, if the caution came out right now, would actually be the free pass, the beneficiary.
When was the last race that everybody was like all one lap down except for the leader? When was that? When was the last race?
I believe that race was like 1990. I'm trying to think here. It may have been like
80s or 90s.
Wait, what happened?
I believe the last race where the winner put everyone else lap down was like a race in like 1994 maybe.
94. I wasn't even born yet.
So I'm going to have I'm going to have to like find out what race that was.
I thought you were about to say I'm gonna have to close the stream, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, we got
obviously no.
We got another caution.
It's probably gonna be for something, or maybe it's a track.
We've had 2 cautions, right? This is
Yes.
the second one?
Oh, I think it's debris. I think it's debris.
So caution number 2 here. So caution number 2 here. Ricky Stenhouse. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the wall.
Really, he went into the wall.
Excuse me for just like 1 second. Okay, I'm back.
Well, I know the last race where everybody would finish on the lap was like in Martinsville of '07, I think.
So caution. So caution is that for second. So caution is that for the second time here. A few drivers will come up the road. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson, Carl Edwards, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
I'm very tired. As I said, for like the 15th.
So number 17 hits the wall.
I didn't really see how he hit the wall though.
Yeah.
They didn't show like somewhat of a replay.
Yeah. Well, they could show a replay when we get back here. So caution is out for the second time here because I will. Oh no! It was it was some kind of like racing like. So. I don't know. It was. I don't know. It was like 19. Well, it was like a race. It was like a race and like. It was like a race.
It was probably like a short track race or something like that.
It was. Okay. So look up 1994 Tyson Holy Farms 400.
North Wilkesboro.
Tyson Holy Farms 400. That race was held at North Wilkesboro Speedway, which is a former NASCAR short track. That race was won by Jeff Bodine. And that was the last time. And that was the last time that.
This iPhone 6 commercial. I like the AT&T iPhone 6 commercial over the Sprint commercial.
Okay. Okay.
Alright guys, it's gonna kick me out of the it's gonna kick me out of the stream for a little bit. It might be only like 5 to 10 minutes, so I will be right back.
Okay. 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 So the race will hopefully be back here. Okay.
Wait. Oh, it's gonna kick me out right when I
Okay. Back to the coverage.
started.
They better show us a replay. Better show me a replay of what happened.
Maybe they will. Okay, so Kevin Harvick has led every lap.
I'm
Okay,
surprised that Fox Sports 1 is actually gonna be doing some cup races. Up until like Daytona. Because I remember seeing a TV schedule on NASCAR America on NBC. I think it said something about that. Like Fox Sports 1 broadcasting.
Okay. So here we go here. So here we go here with the restart here on lap 80. What is it?
It's like lap 74, 5.
No, it's lap 80.
I'm pretty much bet once gets like get down to one of these like late restarts, it's gonna be like somewhat of a crash.
A wreck fest, baby.
Yeah, like in the later stages.
Oh no, we could see wreck fest. Oh, don't turn. Oh, thank you for not turning Jimmy Kyle. Okay, and here we go. So we got like a traffic jam here, and Logano is in the danger zone. So is Dale Earnhardt
I thought I
Jr.
just saw 4 wide. I thought I almost saw 4 wide.
Oh, Well, I've never ever seen 4 wide at Dover. They're capable of doing it, but no one's too scared. But
Yeah,
everyone's too scared.
especially off the corners.
Well, at this racetrack, the racing groove gets so narrow coming off the corner. They'll go like 3 wide. They'll go like 3 wide in the corners, and then all of a sudden and then all of a sudden in turns 2 and 4 they like to try to go down to 1 lane.
It's like some racetracks, they can like go like 3 wide, and like there's some parts of the racetrack where they have to, like it's double a single file.
Yeah.
Like Darlington being.
I'm back.
Okay.
Whoa! He's back.
Okay.
But he's muted though.
Okay. Here. So Harvick is still leader here, and we have some. And when it comes to some chasers, there are some chasers that need to move up here, and those are Logano Jr. And those are like Logano Jr. and Edwards. Logano is locked in. Logano
He
is
just had
locked.
one race last year, right?
Well,
He was close. He was pretty close in the closing laps, but he just couldn't do it.
Well, Jim, he was trying to catch up to Jimmy Johnson, and Dover, if Jimmy Johnson is leading in late race, there's not really a way to catch up to him.
Well, he was close. There was always like lap traffic, I think.
Okay. Here, so Logano, who is locked in virtue of his win last week, but Logano is going to have to like step it up, or whatever. Edwards and Junior. I would be more worried for Edwards. I would be more worried for Edwards because I believe. Because if this race would end right now, Edwards would get eliminated. So Edwards.
No, if it would end because probably because there's 3 drivers are tied. Probably Edwards is gonna like move on because it's the most wins.
Well, I guess. Well, yeah. So
basically, Kurt Busch and Biff will be eliminated, and Edwards will be advancing.
Yeah.
If it ever came down to that, which is highly possible and highly unlikely.
Okay. So because the pit strategy, Biffle has moved inside the top 15. We're seeing Kurt Busch in that very. And we're seeing Kurt Busch in that very peculiar paint scheme, running 11th. Silver.
Bye. Have a good time. Alright, I will be right back. I'm just gonna mute myself and turn off the camera.
Okay. Yeah. So as I was saying, Kurt Busch currently in 11th in that very peculiar paint scheme.
Peculiar.
Well, in my opinion, I think that paint scheme is kind of like weird. Okay, so the top 6 drivers, chasers, we have non-chasers of Clint Boyer and Tony Stewart inside the top 10. We have Matt Kenseth. We have Matt Kenseth chasing Casey Kane, similar to what he was trying to do at Atlanta.
It'll be kind of weird that if Kenseth, doesn't make this round, or probably he will, but it's how things will shake out. If he actually gets eliminated, that second runner-up thing that's been going on the last few seasons probably still gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay. Here. So here we are. The battle for 4th here between Johnson and Hamlin, my two favorite drivers. And Johnson will get that spot. So Johnson is trying to regain the ground that he did from that awful pit stop. Jimmy Johnson's pit crew needs to step up their game. because bad pit stops are not because bad pit stops are not going to uh, win you a championship.
When did Mike Wallace start running cup races now? Again.
Um, well, I guess recently he was in the race last week. I think at New Hampshire, and now he's back and now he's back in this race. Oh well,
I'm just not used to seeing a Wallace in the field anymore.
yeah. Okay, okay. So AJ Allmendinger is not too far off from going a lap down here, and then also not too far off is also like Dale Earnhardt Jr. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So Junior will I think will definitely so I think Junior will so I think everyone knows that Junior is going to make it into the next round. But the question is that I think Junior he's going to have to step up his game. I think okay because next week because this next round we're going because next round is actually the round I'm looking forward to because we go to
Mm.
because we go to Kansas, Charlotte, and Talladega. Those are three tracks. Those are three tracks that are because those are three tracks that are capable of producing wild races.
Especially Talladega.
Uh, uh, yeah. So because of the repaved we have seen some like we have seen a couple of wreck fest races there. Charlotte Moore Speedway. Charlotte Moore Speedway. That's a track that's a track that can produce very fast, very wild races, and then Talladega is the great equalizer in the chase. Race of Talladega being the last race in the Challenger round, we 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 we're probably not going to know who advances until the final lap most likely.
I'm just eager to see what's gonna happen at Talladega. So eager.
Well, I guess too. The problem with Talladega is that I hope we don't have a repeat of what happened last October because what happened.
Well, I like I know like sunny, but this is well the racing was okay, but not satisfying.
It wasn't the racing was definitely.
They were trying to like go caution free.
I,
They're trying to
I think what happened.
because remember what happened the year before. They don't want to repeat that either. So maybe they went a little bit too cautious.
Well, I think what happened was that I think what happened was that with the Gen 6 car that the year everyone was being too everyone was being too cautious.
Because of how small the spoiler was.
I'm back.
They put on Blake, leave 1 lap down. Nope. Still, Kurt, Greg, and Carl, I think, are still zero, like all tied.
Yeah. Yes.
12.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Allmendinger was like up ahead, but since he's gone a lap down, probably over the commercial, he's probably not gonna make the next round. So the two underdogs of the chase is probably not gonna make it.
Okay. Here. So the top three has pretty much stayed the same since the start. Harvick, Keselowski, and Gordon here. Gordon is starting to challenge. Gordon is starting to challenge back Keselowski, but all three of those drivers have pretty much stayed the same distance from each other. So, okay.
So Edwards next year is gonna have like not one but like three paint schemes next year.
Yeah, I think so. They're having some pictures. They're having some pictures on the internet of what
Cause I've seen a Subway paint scheme, a Stanley, or a Dual paint scheme in that Aris,
well,
I
well,
think.
yeah. I think Carl Edwards is going to take a one paint scheme and a paint scheme, and then I believe D-Wall and I believe D-Wall is going to reunite with Matt Kenseth.
But it's just there's two different things. The number and the manufacturer and the team are different.
Okay. So Kyle Larson
That's
is
Matthew. His mic's muted again.
yeah. Well, he said he had to go. Um, okay. Uh,
You know what I wish would happen for like any NASCAR games, if they can at least like make it like the physics and stuff like more realistic. Like give it like an NR 2003 physics.
yeah.
I'm saying your Technics graphic wise is doing a good job, but the AIs and stuff is a little bit cruddy. If you know what I mean? Like some of the, if you actually see the cars, they look decent.
Yeah. The graphic. Oh, yeah. The graphics look. Oh, yeah. The graphics. Whoa.
Well, what happened? Oh!
Yeah, Biffle almost like cooked Ambrose.
I see retaliation, maybe. So now Bush. Oh, I bet you Ambrose let Biffle pass just so I can get revenge.
So Biffle has like a little bit of like girl damage.
Yeah, I see.
Just those like Ford grills are extremely vulnerable.
No. Yikes. I see payback probably.
Maybe. Okay, so
But they're pretty spaced out, so maybe not. I say there might be payback or a post-race altercation. Probably either one of those two would happen.
okay. Okay, so here we are. I'll be curious. So I'll be curious to see what happens. To see what happens in this race once we get past the halfway point.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned earlier in the live stream that in both races at Chicagoland and New Hampshire we saw crazy action after the second half of the race. Okay.
Yeah, I think Ambrose is a little bit mad. He's deciding not to like give him payback, but make sure like he's like blocking him.
Okay.
This is kind of unnecessary. Because Biffle is trying to move on, and Ambrose is acting like a distraction.
Okay. So here we are. Here. So we have Harvick, Keselowski, and Gordon here, and it looks like that possibly in a few laps Gordon is going to pass Keselowski.
Or maybe in the next few, like 2 or something, if lucky enough to get to the corner. You know what I wish they would do for the restrictor plate rules? Like create like the lead changes, but still have pack racing in it.
Well, yeah.
So the tandems produce close finishes and a lot of lead changes, and pack racing like gives us the exciting racing of like 3x3x3 and not like 2x2 almost all the way around.
Yeah.
But people kind of starting to like it though because of the lead changes it produced. But I think they didn't really like it, like in general.
Okay. Okay. Here, I'll know. So my series. So my series. But what I will say is that in my 3 series. I made some changes. I made some changes toward the AI. We're definitely going to see pack like racing at all 3 racetracks. I guess with the exception of like road courses, obviously. But we're definitely going to see at tracks like, but we're definitely going to see at tracks like Charlotte and Dover and definitely like Las Vegas. We're definitely gonna see is like pack like racing. A downside, however, a downside is that what I will say is that at tracks like Charlotte, and oval tracks that are not super speedways, it's common it's commonly like shown that like like the the leader the leader is pretty much going to like stay the leader throughout the entire race, throughout like entire race, and there is not really a good way to like change that, unfortunately. So whoever you see on the pole at non-restricted play ovals is probably going to win, but that's just my like preference on what you may see. Well, I also I don't know, and also before I released that schedule, I tested at almost like every single racetrack to make sure it worked as well. So those racetracks.
What a restricted play race? Like, what did you see mostly?
Well, when I did the test races, I had to change the drafting like multiple times, because
Which one did you find perfect?
well, the AI drafting distance, which is how you like change it. I had to change it to at like a 1.110. At one, I'll say it again. 1.1, yeah, 1.10. So yeah. So that was the AI drafting distance that I changed to Daytona, Talladega, and the other super speedways that we'll see on the series like Coca-Cola, uh, and Ricky.
I really want to see, like, the fantasy track, like that third in place, that fourth in place, with
Well,
the death.
well, yeah. But I guess the problem I have with Thornton is that Thornton is a track that does not have cautions, and I don't really know if I can like quite like manage that really well.
But you actually get to watch people actually fall off the course.
I don't know, and the turn of death is not always very effective. Because the turn of death only really works if we see like side by side racing.
Oh, there's a caution out.
Yeah. So caution number three is for debris again.
Third caution of the race gives us a minute to tell you about the biggest mover in the day, brought to you by Sprint. Greg Biffle has picked up a dozen positions in this race so far. Very timely games, too, for a guy who likes to advance in the chase. Stay connected to the chase of the NASCAR Sprint Cup with the Sprint Family Share Pack. See you can Share Plus Unlimited Content for $100 a month per reward.
So Greg Biffle is the biggest mover here. Anyway, so who's gonna do great? So who's gonna do great? Who's gonna do strategy? And who's going to mess up the pit stop? And who's gonna mess up?
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for like a few minutes.
Okay, I understand.
But I'll rejoin.
Sure.
I'll be back in like a few minutes.
Okay. Okay. So okay here. So here we are here. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy. Do not flunk out the pit stop. Thank you. I would have appreciated if you could take a note from Jeff Gordon and make your pit stops like 12.4. But okay. So Kozlowski lost a spot. Hamlin gained 2 spots. Johnson lost a spot. Stewart was the biggest mover of 10 spots. Boyer was the biggest loser. He lost 3. So now the front row is going to be Harvick and Gordon. Hamlin, Keselowski is so now Keselowski is actually going to restart behind Harvick here because the outside line works so well for Keselowski. I think we'll get actively here, but I don't really know. I don't really know because we saw because of course we saw that like outside learn out. I think it like first came around like in the year like 2012 is where we like picked up on it a lot, or maybe no way, it wasn't 2012. I believe it was like 20. Was it 20? Help! I'll just say it was 2012. Anyway, I'm gonna say here for anyone who's watching, I'll have to go mute myself for just like a minute here, but I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now. I had to go take care uh, of getting a glass of water because every now and then my mouth gets dry and anyways, here we go here on lap 30 here. We're gonna go back to the restart here. So this will be uh, our third restart up here. Harvick prevails, so is Keselowski as I predicted, and the inside line is and beyond the outside line, it's just like super embarrassing for everyone who races in it. Harvick just like blasts away from the field. Keselowski is having some difficulty trying to clear Gordon, but now he doesn't now. Here comes Johnson inside Larson as Larson looks like his car is improving. Uh Oh, as I said earlier, Dover is a track that where it's racing can either live or die. I think I don't know. And we did see like some calamity, and we did see like some like calamity back in the spring. Because these cars are like inches from each other, but these cars also give them just like plenty of room here. Oh, look. Okay, so an AG Omni right there was underneath Michael Annette, I believe, or wasn't Michael, or was it Michael Annette? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Okay, so Dale Hart Jr. was under AG Omni right there. He almost clipped Omninger, but he almost clipped Allmendinger because because there was almost like no room there, but then Dale Earnhardt Jr. he backed out of it, and then he moves on. So so these are like not like good. So these are obviously not good runs for Allmendinger and Almirola. It looks like that. It looks like that. At this rate, Almirola is definitely not going to advance. But it does make me wonder. But it does make me wonder if like. But it does make me wonder if like. Uh. But it does make me wonder. Oh my God. Allmendinger and Jr. almost got close again. So. On it, and James Murray is sadly back there. So a couple of front runners in the first two races to win are obviously like struggling. You know, we're seeing Murray, we're seeing Logano, uh, we're seeing Eric Almirola have struggles here. Yeah, so it doesn't make me wonder if Eric Almirola did not have like one engine. I wonder where like where like Eric Almirola would have standed. Because James Murray was once as high as fourth place, and now it seems like that because of like bad pit strategy, he's got bumped back there. So now Almirola is being super aggressive here. Which I was like Casey Mears, yeah. Well, anyway, so our top five right now is Harvick, Keselowski, Gordon, Hamlin, and Kenseth. So that's your top five. So we have we have a Stuart Haas, a Penske, a Hendrick, and two Gibbs drivers inside the top 10 here. We're seeing Kurt Busch right here. Kurt Busch is going to get inside that. Kurt Busch is going to get inside the top 12 points. He's going to have to get. He's going. It looks like he's going to have to finish higher than 11th, which is where he is right now because 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 ever because everyone in front of him is a really good chaser. So I think he'll have to either hope for his competition and have him do crash, or he's going to have to like step up his game here. He may be a driver he might be a driver where we're possibly on the like last caution. We could see some like huge see some like huge pit road strategy, but who knows? Okay, so well, I actually but will be okay, but that race from like 9th to 15th is like separated by like 15 points, so it is a pretty close race. Hamilton, Kane, Edwards, and Newman. Edward. So Kane. I don't know. I think. Okay, so here we are. So Harvick is still here. He's been dominant the whole entire race. He probably would have won. He probably would have been the winner in June, if he did not have that like flat tire there, because that flat tire, while leading, kind of ruined his day. I think and then he couldn't just get like the cautions. and then he just kind of get like the right cautions uh to help him get like the wave around and etc. But here comes Kozlowski. But here comes the Kozlowski right here. And it looks like right here on lap 148, we're going to have like a lead change here. Harvick is gonna so Harvick loses the lead. So Harvick loses the lead. Um, so Harvick so lead change here on lap 148 as Kozlowski is the new leader. So Kozlowski takes the lead. I think both those drivers, Harvick and Kozlowski, I think they will. I think they will, and I think they should be in the final four. But we'll just have to see here. Oh well, because I think I'll be curious to see how drivers like Kozlowski and Harvick and Gordon and Logano stack up at Talladega, because you know because you never know because you never know we could see Kozlowski because we could see like the front runners have like major issues at Talladega. We could see them have like major issues at Kansas because I think I think out of like those like three tracks, I think that like out of like those three tracks, I think Talladega. I don't know. I think it's like popularized as like the wild card in the chase. But I would actually be a little more concerned for Kansas. I know the Kansas race. I know the Kansas race in
I'm back.
hi. So as I was saying, because I know the Kansas race in May, kind of, I feel like the Kansas race in May was kind of like a letdown to just in the previous races. But I think with Kansas, the surface is getting older, the surface is getting wider, and we could definitely see some crazy action. Kansas, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Well, races at Charlotte can either be super forgettable or super memorable. I think Charlotte it definitely has that like Saturday night under the lights, like craziness. Every once in a while, a race at Charlotte is going to be crazy. And then Talladega, the great equalizer. I think we'll hopefully see things at Talladega. The reason why I say hopefully is because of what happened last year in the fall. Because as I said before, I don't know what happened with that race last year. Super forgettable Talladega race. Super, once again that race last October was super forgettable. But what I would like to see at Talladega is actually a like big one. I don't really want to I don't really want to see like I really do not want to see like a like 7 car pileup, because to me a 7 car pileup is because I feel like I tracks like Daytona Talladega, if we see like a 7 car pileup, it kind of like ruins it. What I also want to see at Talladega is because I want to see Talladega redeem the super speedways after that awful Daytona race in July. I don't know what happened there. So yeah. So I'm gonna have very high expectations for Talladega. Uh, so okay. So here we go here. So our top five is our top five is Harvick, no Harvick, Keselowski, Harvick, Gordon, Hamlin, Kenseth. The distance between first and fifth is 3.2 2 seconds. So strange. Okay, so we're seeing. Mm. Okay, so here we are here. So we're seeing green pipe good stuff now. So Casey Kane makes an unscheduled pit stop. Okay, so here. Okay, so here we are here. Once again, we're seeing a battle here for fifth place between Hamlin and Johnson here. Here, Johnson's car. Johnson's car. It seems to come to life after in 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 a like long run. That's what we've seen from Jimmy. Okay, yeah. So Jimmy's car seems to do well here on the long run. I'm not. I would like Jimmy. As I said earlier in the live stream, I picked Jimmy Johnson to win this race, but I don't think that it is going to happen because I feel like that Johnson just has much like stronger competition in front of him. With like Keselowski, Harvick, Gordon, and even Kenseth. Because I think Johnson could technically be in that top four. I think he's definitely capable. I think he's definitely capable of it. But what's gonna have to happen is that I think Johnson he's going to have to like up his game. He's going to have to like up his game. He's going to have to like up his game here. Uh, and media wise, because Johnson's expectations is set on super like high bar. They judge it on that bar. So if he goes below that bar, we're all of a sudden like, why is Jimmy like sucking? But yeah. So well, here we go. Here, so the battle for the lead has resumed here between Keselowski and Harvick. Here, Harvick is trying to take a lead back from Keselowski. So, okay, here, so now Keselowski, he's going to try to put Patrick a lot down. He's going to try. He's going to try to put Patrick a lot down. Um. Okay. Okay, so here we are here on lap 170. So 200. So 203 laps to go here. Okay. So when I look at like Hamlin, Newman, Edwards, and Kurt Busch, those four drivers are the last four drivers in the safe zone. I think heading caution out.
There's a caution.
So we have caution. So we have caution number 4 here. So we have caution number 4 here, and they're apparently saying that Casey Mears may had made some heavy contact with the wall, or maybe.
No, it's 32. J.J. Yelly. Think.
Okay, so okay, so Casey Kane here, so he'll probably take the wave around to try to get at least one of his laps back, but on a Casey Kane, he's going to have a lot of ground to make up. So caution 4 here. Okay, so up 174. We have our pit stops here. Okay, who's gonna move up? Who's gonna fail? Who's gonna flunk out the pit stops here? Too tight, 48. Okay, whoa, awful pit stop. Jeff Gordon. Johnson did way better than Jeff Gordon here. So Keselowski had issues. So our top 4 right now: Harvick, Keselowski, Kenseth, Johnson, and then Hamlin. That's top 5. Johnson actually gained a spot. Jeff Gordon was the biggest loser in that. He lost four spots. Goes from 3rd to 4th. Not what he needs. Not what he needs, and that's not what a Jeff Gordon fan would need to see. It. Jeff Gordon, he's going to have to try to redeem himself here. But now Jeff Gordon starts on the inside, and the inside over on restarts is embarrassing. So on steps. So Jeff Gordon was the biggest loser. From 3rd to 7th. Okay. Typo error on NASCAR.com lap by lap coverage here. They meant to say Kyle Busch, but his finger must have slipped and accidentally wrote Kyle Busch. That's okay. Okay. So when we look at where everyone is going to restart here, Jimmy Johnson. It looks like Jimmy Johnson is going to be in his best position right here because he's going to restart 4 here, which means he's going to restart behind Harvick here. So if Johnson does not like fail to restart here, Johnson should be able to get a car to possibly move into 2nd place maybe. And possibly challenge Harvick here, because I think that if Johnson could just get some like fresh air, he would be someone to talk about when it comes to winning. Because I think what Jimmy is struggling right now is trying to find like speed to get up front, because clean air is important. Okay, double up on the restart. So the top 7 drivers are chasers. Then we actually have 3 non-chasers: Boyer, Stewart, and Casey Mears. So great job for Casey Mears inside to move it. So here we go. Here, restart here on lap 176. What's gonna happen? So everyone stays pretty even. Here, Harvick is gonna look like he's gonna pull away. Keselowski is staying with him.
Ooh, Jimmy's gonna pass Matt Kenseth.
Okay, so Johnson moves in the third. Here comes Johnson. Here comes Johnson challenging Keselowski. We haven't really been seeing Jimmy challenge these front runners. Here we go. Here we go.
Ooh, Jimmy Johnson got a run over Brad Keselowski coming through turn 1 and 2.
Okay. Okay. Stop 177 out. Here we go. So Harvick pulls away. Pulls away. I think at this point, if you're going to catch Harvick. Okay. Okay, because I feel like at this point, if you're going to catch Harvick, you got hope that he catches stop traffic, and then you make your move. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Here we're approaching lap 1. So approaching lap 1. 80 here. So Almirola here. So if the caution can come like right now, Almirola would get the free pass. But I think what like Almirola needs to worry about right now is not letting the drivers behind him. Because he has to make sure that he doesn't let the drivers behind him that are on that down pass him, because then he would like lose that if the caution would come out. We haven't really. To me Dover is not really a track. Dover is not really a track that like you'll see one caution on a restart and then you'll see another caution after another restart. Here, your cautions at Dover are pretty spaced apart. They're very far from each other as far as like laps go. So we'll see a caution here. So for example, it's one of those tracks where you'll see a caution come like after every 40 laps. This is not New Hampshire. This is not a short track. So yeah. And when you compare this track to New Hampshire, because both tracks are 1 mile, New Hampshire. What makes New Hampshire work better for someone like what makes New Hampshire better for like a wreck fest is that New Hampshire is like a flat track. Is that New Hampshire is like a flat track, and the turns are shorter than they are in Dover. So because of the flatness and because of the shorter turns, it forces these drivers to race harder just to make passes here, and that's what we saw. A lot of crashes happen in New Hampshire because we saw drivers trying to make passes and it just didn't work. Okay. Okay, here, so our top, so our top, so our top 5 are Harvick, Keselowski, Johnson, and then I believe I saw So there's 20 Matt Kenseth and Kyle Busch. So that's your top 5 here. Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon has not really seemed to gain anything at all since restarting 7th. I mean he's trying to pass Danny Hamlin here, but it's not really working here. And we've seen for several years now, Gordon seems to really struggle in dirty air. It's like Jeff Gordon's like weakness. Okay, so okay. Anyway, so when I look at the top 5 here, the distance between first and 5th is 4.3 seconds. Keselowski is just like 1 second behind Harvick. Johnson is 2.1. Oh no! Every now and then we see like top 5 like every now and then we see like the first 2 drivers behind Harvick like either like gain some laps and then like lose other laps, but we'll be seeing Harvick here catch some lap traffic and then we'll see how much he'll struggle in it. So on. So Biffle, okay. So it looks like Biffle is having his best run in this chase so far. But Biffle, he's going to have to. I think if Biffle is going to feel safely, if Biffle wants to keep himself from getting eliminated, he's probably going to have to. He may want to play some pit strategy. Possibly on the final like restart, he may want to take like fuel only. If we have like pit stops like 25 laps to go and see how good that does. Because Biffle, he's going to have to finish. He's going to have to finish. He's going to have to finish better than 17th. If for Dale Jr. here in this next round, he's going to have to raise his game. Okay, here. So we're almost halfway here. So we're almost halfway here. It looks like Harvick is going to lead that like halfway point. But now Jeff Gordon finally got past Hamlin, and now Gordon is challenging Kyle Busch here to get back inside the top 5. Okay. So now we're finally going to approach. Now we're finally going to go into NASCAR non-stop. Okay. Here.
Super EV Master.
Yes.
Do you think Kyle Busch wins too much in the Nationwide and Truck Series?
Well, I think. I don't think that it's necessarily like Kyle Busch wins too much. The problem is that I don't think that he wins too much. I think that he races. They put him in the nationwide car like too many times. I wish that they would let other drivers race his equipment. I don't know. I would love to see them put I'd love to see him put a young driver in the car. It will give the young driver some valuable experience time behind the wheel. And how good the Joe Gibbs equipment is, I think it would be really helpful for that young driver to race in some good equipment.
Mhm.
because I don't think that it's Kyle Busch that wins too much. The problem is that Kyle Busch wins these races because Kyle Busch he has he has almost like more experience than everyone else in that nationwide field. So because of that Kyle Busch, he has a better advantage.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Here, so back to the coverage. So Harvick, so Harvick, so Harvick leads the halfway point. Okay, so Harvick leads here. Okay. Here's so now Gordon. So Gordon's car seems to behave very similar to like Johnson's. It's not gonna behave. It's not gonna go fast early, but after a while, his car starts like his car starts like gain speed and everything else. And I think that possibly if Gordon could get to some clean some clean air, he may have to play the like pit strategy card to to if he's going to want to win. Okay. Here's so how's my lap two? Here Harvick is leading. Keselowski second, Johnson third, Gordon, and now losing to third. Uh, and then we have the three Gibbs teammates, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Larson, his car seems to gain better, but I think Larson, if he's going to, he's going to have to make some adjustments here. But I think it's definitely good for Larson to get. But I think it would be good for Larson to get to be a non-chaser and get 3 top 10 finishes in the first 3 chase races. So it looks like at this point, Biffle is going to have to finish better than like 12th place if he's going to be in that chase. So yeah, I think Biffle at some point will have to play some kind of like strategy card. Okay, okay, okay. So lap 2. Okay, so now Harvick is threatening Casey Kane lap down here, and Casey Kane. I don't know Casey Kane. I don't know Casey Kane. You're going. I don't know Casey Kane in the next round. I don't know Casey Kane. You're in that like final. You're in that like final 4 in points, and that's going to be the first 4 eliminated. So Casey Kane, I think Casey Kane at this point he's probably going to like have to like hope for less than like cautions, and then Casey Kane he's going to have to play a strategy game to take a few wave rounds. Yeah, so I think Casey Kane he's going to have to hope for multiple cautions in these past. Yeah, he's going to but but we have seen it here. But we did see at Chicagoland and New Hampshire several cautions been past the halfway point. So will we see that this race? I don't think so. I think this race is going to stay pretty much like green flag. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay. 215 here. Okay. Okay. Just trying. Okay. Just chill. Okay. Just chilling. Waiting. Possibly waiting for something to happen here. Well. Okay. Okay. So even though we're just slightly past halfway here, we still have a lot of racing left. So we'll just have to see what happens here. Okay. 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 So here, something to look at. Okay, so that's how it's linked here as a pull up as a okay. Okay.
Numbers are down. It's the end of the year. We're going to bring it back up. Go over the branches. 5-1. Not so good. 3-4 strong. Okay here, and now Gordon has gone past Jimmy now. So puts Jimmy back and forth here. Yeah. So I was definitely right. Gordon's car seems to get out of here. And now all of a sudden in the race, we're seeing like a mixture of like sun and clouds. So sun and clouds is definitely going to affect certain drivers right here. We'll have to see what drivers perform better in the sunlight and perform better in the clouds. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Ugh. Okay, so two, so 226 here. So, yeah, so a lot, yeah, so I think a lot of drivers, so I think what they should be thinking about right now, unless you're kind of hard, is if you're going to want to like, if you're going to want to like be Harvick, or if you're going to want to like win, you're going to have to perform. I think that pit strategy is definitely crucial here. I think it's definitely crucial at Dover. Because even though Dover has banking, Dover is somewhat of a hard track to pass on. So Dover, so yeah, so I think a lot of drivers, especially chasers who are like outside like the top like 10. I think they should definitely be thinking about like about possibly making some like pit strategy calls here. Okay. Well, okay. Well, okay here. So, yeah, yes. So I'll say it again here. Yes. So definitely think about making, like good pitch strategy here, and that shall prevail you. We have seen in the last the last two. We have seen that. Okay, so if we look at this race like a year, so if we look at this race like a year ago and 2 years ago, it's Kozlowski won this race 2 years ago and went on to win the championship. Jimmy Johnson won this race last year and won the championships. So it looks like we're possibly in some kind of like role here. Okay. Okay, so when I look at like these chasers right here. The first six drivers are chasers. Larson has moved up in this place. So Larson, he seems like quietly like sneaking his way into the top five. I think if Larson could possibly play some like pit strategy games, he could be one to talk about. And the Joey Logano, I don't think that like as of right now, a lot of us expected for Joey Logano to finally be inside the top 10, but but even though if it, but even though it's just like one race, I think that you still have to be pretty consistent if you're going to be in the final four, because I feel like that because I think Logano, I think he'll definitely get to the eliminator round, the second last round, but I think Logano probably cannot afford a 10th place finish. 10th place finishes in the eliminator round. He's going to have to be he's going to have to be he's going to have to he's going to have to he's going to have to like work better in order to do that. But I think for this race, because they said on NASCAR race day, saying things like, okay, so who's going to race and who's going to ride? And I think Logano right now, I think he's just simply going to ride this out because him and Kozlowski are already locked in. But I think Kozlowski, he's racing, and Kozlowski I'm sorry. I'll say it again. Because Kozlowski, he's racing hard. He's racing hard to get a second win, and Logano, he's just like riding out, I guess. So I guess that's the difference between the two Penske cars, or that's what I'll assume. So So Harvick puts AJ Allmendinger one down. The next chaser to go one down is Greg Biffle here. On and then once again, and then after Greg Biffle, we have Junior and Carl Edwards. Those are two drivers. Those are two drivers that those are two drivers where if they where if they're going to want to get into the preliminary round or in the final four, they're going to pick it up here. Junior is definitely going to make it into the next round, but I don't think Junior can afford a 16th place car throughout the whole entire race and still expect that he's going to and expect that he's going to be someone in the final four. He's going to have to finish better than that. So. Okay. So I'll have 240 here, and on this race, it's been really hard to like take out like notes because there hasn't been like too much action. I'll say. Uh, excuse me for just like 1 second here. Okay, I'm back here, and so back to the action. So back to the action here. Anyway. Okay. 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 So I remember. Okay, so I remember. So I remember like checking out in the on race day saying that like a like fuel ride over is like 80 like laps long here. So. Casey Kane makes another unscheduled pits up here, so Casey Kane finishes where he is right now. He'll actually be eliminated, and he wasn't. So okay, so ESPN is reminding us that the last is that the last 5 races Harvick led the most laps. He's not gone to victory lane because I think because this season when it comes to Kevin Harvick, they've had strong cars. They've had strong cars almost everywhere, but the problem is Kevin Harvick he's had a lot of issues on pit road. He's gotten involved in other drivers' wrecks. So. Okay. So yeah. So now this should be the start of a green flag stuff now. I don't know. Okay, okay, yes. Okay. 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 Start. Okay, so it seems like that now. I'll have 2:48 to start green flag pit stops. So now we're finally starting to see leaders other than Harvick or Kozlowski. We saw Pensive in the lead. We saw Boyer in the lead. Everyone's probably staying out. Everyone's probably staying out because they're trying to get the most points possible. Okay, but everyone is going to have to make at least. But everyone is going to have to make at least one more pit stop, and I think possibly, and I think possibly everyone should make a more pit stop if we don't have a green light checker, because I think that the fuel it's gonna be close. I think, and we have seen several times here. We have seen several fuel races where they talk about like are so yeah. So we're seeing like several times at Dover where it's like, is he gonna make it? Is he not? We'll just have to see. Okay, so now James Murray inherits the lead now. Okay, okay, okay. I think for some chasers, they had. Whoa. So okay, so here we go here. Lap 152 here. Kevin Harvick's left front tire blows. Was there some major chase implications here for Kevin Harvick? The bad luck just continues. And here we go. Here now the caution is out here. What? And this is during the middle of some green flag pit stops here. Harvick, he didn't come. He's not gonna. He's gonna stay out on the racetrack. But now with this now, the lead goes back to Brad Keselowski. Ugh, so Kevin Harvick basically pulled out the Kevin Harvick is basically pulling off the Eric Almirola. Oh well, I don't know, and that's kind of I think what could have happened was I think what may happen is that tire that left front tire of Harvick's may have not had a lot of air pressure in it. So now left front tire and splitter is just falling. Is now just falling to pieces, and I think that's going to make the car have some like handling issues now. But now after that mess here, Keselowski is now your leader. Gordon in second, Johnson third, Busch fourth, Kenton fifth. So that's your top 10. Kyle Larson right there. As I said earlier, he's just like slowly creeping his way inside the top 5. So Kevin Harvick here. So after all that, he's still going to stay on lead lap, but with that like splitter damage, that may just affect his car for the rest of the day. So I have to go. Okay, so I have to go sharpen a pencil to continue taking notes. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so I'm back here now. As we're seeing a few other, chasers come down pit road, like AJ Allmendinger. Um, so this is caution number 5. Uh, Okay, so here we go. Okay, so here we go here. Okay. So, yeah. So as repair continues on Kevin Hart's car, um, so as repair continues on Kevin Hart's car, so they put some tape on the splitter. Um, here, I'll split it here. So we'll probably go back to green flag here on lap 260 maybe. Okay. Okay. I don't think Kevin Hart. So I don't think Kevin Hart is. So I don't think Kevin Hart. So obviously, I don't think Hart. So obviously, I don't think Harvick. So obviously, I don't think like Harvick is going to like fall. Get eliminated. But I think Harvick. I don't know. I wish that like when like NASCAR did these like. I wish that like when like NASCAR did these like radio communications, they could they could put like captions underneath it. I think it'd be helpful. I think it'd be like helpful because I always seem to have like a hard time understanding what they're saying. So so here. Okay, and speaking of chase issues here, so Kyle Wish might have some like grinding. So, so Kyle Wish, it looks like Kyle Wish might have some like grinding issues here. Uh, so I think what that means is that Kyle Wish is apparently reporting possibly like a loose wheel. It's possibly reporting like a loose wheel here. Uh, and anyway, I have to go. I have to go. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, here, so I'm back, and looks like we're gonna risk it here on lap 60, 61. Kozlowski is not leader here. Kyle Busch is right behind him. Is right behind him in fourth. So I think Kyle Busch is going to be a huge beneficiary of this. We'll see how happens here. So Kozlowski and Gordon stay pretty even here as to going into turn number one. But all of a sudden in turn one, it's like Jeff Gordon has to like back off here because the outside seems to have more speed than the inside heading into turn one on restarts. Okay. So as I predicted, Kyle Larson, he's now crept his way into the top five here, and Logano as is creeping his way into top five as well. So everyone, so a lot of like the front runners. So some of the front runners have finally got to know like Mojo back. So look here. So we have like single file throughout the whole entire field here. Okay, it's not Kozlowski. I don't know. I think if Kozlowski can win this race, it's basically it's basically going to like I think of like Kozlowski winning. He's basically preventing another driver. He's basically preventing another driver from locking themselves into the chase. So if he does that, so if he wins this race, he'll basically prevent someone like Allmendinger or Kane, to lock themselves, in. So which is good. However, we still have 134 laps to go here in this race. I don't know that a paint scheme for Kerbush is very I don't know. It's definitely different. But I don't really know if I necessarily like silver and yellow together. It feels like to me. It feels like to me, in my opinion, those colors seem to not look that good on a car. Anyway, and on the topic of paint schemes, I think I paint scheme. I think that like paint scheme of like a Vigionier is like really cool. It's a lot more cooler. It's a lot more cooler with that like yellow on it. Okay. So Allmendinger is the highest driver right now of the drivers that would get eliminated. So, okay. Uh, okay. So Ryan Newman. So Ryan. It looks like as of right now, Ryan Newman is definitely going to advance. So I think Ryan Newman. I think. Well, as I said earlier, I think with like Talladega, like Talladega being the last race, in the next round, it's just gonna well, because I feel like okay, I think that in this next round, uh, I think drivers are going to have to race harder or race harder because finishes at Talladega are like super like unpredictable. These drivers are going to have to race super hard at like Kansas and Charlotte. But those races are also have the potential of being wild too. So I think I think the second round, the contender round is going to be um champion. I think it's called the championship. Uh, okay. So Jeff Gordon, right here. So he moved into second right here, and as we go here on 275, top five right now. So top five right now would be Rakazowski, Jeff Gordon, uh, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, and Jimmy Johnson. That's your top five. Once again, another solid performance by Kyle Larson. Once again, another solid performance by Kyle Larson. Definitely. Hmm. So lap 277 now. So lap 277. Casey Kane gets by AJ Allmendinger, and first car one down is actually Jamie McMurray. So Casey Kane has to get past Jamie McMurray if he's going to be the first car one lap down if Bekazowski, if we get cautioned soon after that happens. Here, so this race as of right now, the Team Joe Gibbs seems to be redeeming itself for after what happened back in New Hampshire when all three cars were involved in crashes. And I think Joe Gibbs, they will be heading to some like good tracks. I think tracks like Kansas, and Charlotte. Well, I think those are tracks that they are capable of doing performing very well. And Talladega, we've seen this year with Danny Hamlin. So I think we're all expecting Hamlin to perform really well at Talladega. Be the leader. So entering this chase, Joe Gibbs looks like the underdog, and now Joe Gibbs kind of looks like a underdog entering the chase, and now all three cars are going to advance in its first round. I think next year, Kevin Harvick. Okay. Okay. So now Kevin Harvick, he hasn't really gained a lot of spots, and is actually not too far away. And it's actually not too far away from going a lap down. Yeah, so obviously the damage to Harvick seems to be somewhat permanent. So no, okay, so here we go here. So Jeff Gordon it seems to be catching up. Seems to be catching Keselowski just ever so slightly here. I don't know. So on ESPN they talk about the second half having a lot of like intensity. I don't think Dover is not really that kind of like track that produces intensity, but you never know. But you never know. But Nappy, excuse me. I have to go. I have to go prepare my lunch. Okay. So I'm back here. Uh, okay. Okay. So uh. So on these so on it's like so I got so I got to so I got to my concert right here. Man, this guy.
AT&T provides and T-Mobile double the data. And now check out Sprint's new unlimited plan.
Okay. So now we're approaching the 75% mark of this race here. And Gordon, he seems to be catching Keselowski here. I think at this point, I think Gordon is definitely the upset. I think it's definitely the driver who can be the upset if Keselowski does not win this race. Because I think at this point, because I think that at this point, if Keselowski were to win this race, I think he'd probably be the most discerning driver, because I think that Harvick. Because I think that like Harvick, I don't really know if I want to see Harvick win after having that mistake, because I kind of feel like Harvick, I feel like Harvick, those are mistakes. Those are mistakes that you need. Those are mistakes. those are mistakes they need to fix. Because okay, so let me bring up like this analogy. You're not if you get a zero on test, you're most likely not going to be going to be given a second chance. And if you are given a second chance, you're most likely not going to go from like a 0 to 100%. If Hogg did recover, he'd probably would have gotten like a 75% on the test. So just because you had this issue doesn't mean they should be given like a second chance and get 100%. You need, if you're gonna get a second chance, you should you're probably going to get like 75% of the test right. You're not always going to be perfect on your second chance. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so Gordon, he seems to be like slowly reeling in Keselowski. Similar to what I said earlier on like Keselowski slowly reeling in like Harvick. So Gordon, okay. I don't know. So we've seen. Anyways, so Gordon has done good in the chase. He did blow his tire. He did blow his tire in New Hampshire, which is something that Jeff Gordon cannot. Which is something that Jeff Gordon cannot do again in the chase, especially heading into the next round. So it looks like, okay, so now Gordon, he's challenging Keselowski right now. So side by side battle here between Gordon and Keselowski. So what's going to happen? So Gordon's car, yes, so as they're saying on TV, Gordon's car seems to perform really well in the center of the corner. Okay, so Gordon's car here, he's side by side now. It looks like Gordon, is he going to get trapped behind the 32 of JDL? Yes, he did. So, yeah, but here comes Gordon back here. Side by side here, Keselowski, the Gordon fans, they're on their feet if they would ever show them. They'll show a crowd for Junior, but they'll never really ever seem to show a crowd for Jeff. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. Took me a while because you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I attempted to make like a stop motion.
Yes.
If you don't mind watching it, if you would like to watch it, you can.
So Jeff Gordon now takes the lead.
With like 93, 96 left. I mean, not 96. I mean
92.
92.
Yes. Okay. So that race for that last day spot for 12th place is like super close. We got pretty good battle here between like Kurt Busch and Casey Kane. They're just battling to survive.
Well, since Kane is like laps down, he can't make it up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now we're seeing. Okay. Anyway, so now we're seeing Jimmy challenge Kyle Busch right here. So as I said earlier in the live stream, Jimmy Johnson, his car seems to like come in a lot more better on the longer run. However, I think what Jimmy Johnson needs to possibly do is try to try to make their car fast all the time. At times, so when we approach here, because we're not too far away from a set of green flag pit stops.
Jimmy hasn't led any laps today. Unusual.
Well,
Unusual for a Dover race.
yes. I think, I think Jimmy, I think Jimmy, could still make, could still make the like final four if he gets top five, if it gets top fives like this, because he finished fifth last week, and if he finishes, and if he like finishes like third, and if he like finishes like third, today, you know, you know. And not okay. Okay, I'll bring it back. I have to take something out of the oven. Back. Okay. 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 Oh, well, because I do think that if Jimmy could just get like solid like top fives, gets off top fives because technically you don't necessarily have to like win a lot of races to become a championship. We saw back in 2003. We saw back in like 2003.
When Kansas won it, only won one race and like
Yeah.
kept consistent all the way.
Yeah, and
I didn't know he actually did that though. I didn't know he did that. That's why they created. I think that's why they created like the chase or something like that.
With the chase they want to make a really close championship out here, and we anyway. So as I was saying here, and last year, Jimmy Johnson did not win the most races and still won the championship. So I don't think like winning is necessarily the most important thing. I mean, yeah. Okay, so here we go here. So we have 80 laps to go now, and we're going to have at least one more set of. And it looks like we're going to have a set of green flag pit stops here. But if we do have like a caution here, and I do believe that like at some point we will have a caution. Because I believe at some point in the next 79 laps we're going to have at least one more caution, and that caution could bring everyone back in the pit road. I think a lot of drivers that are outside the top five should be thinking about pit strategy here.
Biffle slides back into Gordon's clutches. Kurt Busch continues to lose positions with 27.
Oh,
Oh, Dinger needs to move up one more position.
yeah.
Then they'll be like, I think like.
Well, if it's tied right now, I think Casey Kane would win the tiebreaker because I believe Casey Kane has a lot more better finishes than Allmendinger.
Or maybe by like owners, like owner points.
Well, tiebreakers aren't decided by owners points. I believe it goes down to like wins, then second, then third, then fourth, etc. And chances are I think Casey Kane probably has more like second, third, fourth, and fifth place type finishes than AJ Allmendinger. So I think if it's tied right now, so I think if it was tied, I think Casey Kane would win the tiebreaker. Uh,
So there's 19 total. Newman's on pit road now for I believe the like the last cycle of
Yeah.
pit stops.
yeah, I think so.
It depends if cautions happen. Maybe second to last, maybe last pit stop depends on caution.
Yes. So lap 3. Yeah, so lap 3 through 6 the second.
Up Newman dropped to 12th. And Kane moved up 1. Up
Yeah, so second set.
Allmendinger moved just in by 2 points.
Yeah, so second set of green flag pit stops.
See, that's so like funny. Like when when people get in, like the positions and the points actually move a lot. Because I think this is probably determine who's gonna make it and who's not.
Well, yeah. But the question is that so after this cycle of pit stops ends, are we going to see one of these drivers have like a Kevin Harvick moment here and like mess up? Okay, so here comes Jeff Warren here. Jeff
I think Biffle is up. Biffle's blocked out of his pit stall.
Jeff Gordon has had both good and bad pit stops.
But did you see Biffle get blocked out of his pit stall?
Yeah, I saw that. Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, Gordon almost hit somebody.
Come on, don't.
I just saw that.
Okay.
Luckily, Gordon didn't hit anything.
Okay. I did not. Okay, I didn't really ask. Okay, I didn't really ask for a 14.7. I didn't really ask for like a 14.7 pit stop, but okay. As long as like no one gets like hot speed, then I'm okay.
Man, it's getting very tight on pit road. First, Biffle got blocked out. Gordon almost hit somebody because I saw his car like get really sideways coming out.
Yeah.
Junior is knifing in the point standings right now. I want him to, keep that cushion of that how many points he has because I want him to really advance by like a pretty decent size, but not like a little.
Okay. So I want. Okay, so will we have 3 different winners or? So it looks like Jeff Gordon is going to resume the lead. Okay.
And McMurray, it's like, he'll like -1 lap in like the top 10. Maybe there's like somewhat of like a glitch or something. It's gonna correct itself probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so I'll be like right back. So I'll be like right back again.
Larson, Johnson, and Lozano will be the top five after the picks.
Allmendinger's back below the cutoff line. 67 laps to go.
Okay, I'm back.
Larson's in the third spot.
Okay, so as I said, Jeff Warren's last win. Jeff Warren's last win came in. So Jeff Warren's like last one came in. Yeah. So it came in 2001.
When is the first race of the SERO gonna come out?
Possibly tomorrow, I think. And it will be the Domino's Pizza Truck Series. I may try to record on it tonight. So looks like Johnson got past Kyle Larson very easily. So I think Jimmy might have fixed the car the right way. So Jeff Gardner and now he's approaching to put his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. a lap down.
Have to go again.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. So as I was saying here, it looks like Jeff Gordon is approaching to lap his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr. now. Okay. So Casey Kane is the last driver in the save zone, but he has just like 1 point over Kurt Busch. If they were tied, Kurt Busch would win the tiebreaker. Virtue won simply like better finishes than Casey Kane, which makes sense because I think Kurt Busch because I think that Kurt Busch has a better chance to possibly go farther than Casey Kane, but we'll see here. So we'll see here. Anyways. So I'll be like right back. So I'm back. It's really hard to like eat food and like it's to me in my opinion it's kind of hard to like hard to like eat like food and like wear headphones at the same time. Okay, so here we are. 52 laps to go. I'm going to hopefully hope for like at least like one more caution. So now I just finish eating it all through. I back and this will be like all time that I leave.
Signed you as some identity theft protection. I'm sorry. Did you say identity distribution? No, protection, identity theft protection. You have selected identity distribution. Your identity will now be shared with everyone.
Okay. so I'm right back here, and I'm gonna bring my computer equipment back to the couch. Okay. Okay. Here's so now I'm definitely here to commentate the last 43 laps of this race without any any stoppage at all. So Jeff Gordon is your leader here. Keselowski, the lead between them hasn't really gained or hasn't really increased or decreased. It's stayed pretty consistent. Okay, here, but I think at this point, the only way if this race were to stay green, I think the only way Jeff Gordon could lose this, I think the only way Jeff Gordon could lose is that if he gets held back a lot by lap traffic, and Keselowski catches him because Keselowski, I think. Because Keselowski, I think, was here. Because Keselowski, I think that what is it? Because Keselowski, he seems to really race he seems to really have a better car when Gordon gets stuck behind these lap cars, and then he can't not him to do anything with them. Because I think if Keselowski could just catch it to the rear bumper of Gordon, then he has a pretty good chance to pass him. And we've seen. I don't know, and also another thing to mention is that it seems like Jimmy Johnson is actually Jimmy Johnson is actually gaining on these two drivers. I don't know if it's just because of the adjustments that they made on pit road or what, but he seems to actually be gaining ground. Okay, it's now. Okay, so the battle between Casey Kane and Kurt Busch is really close here. Because Kevin Harvick just passed Kurt Busch now, so now Kurt Busch would be outside the top 12. But if Kurt Busch could just gain one more spot, they would be tied, and Kurt Busch would of course win the tiebreaker because Kurt Busch has much more better finishes. So but back to here. Jeff Gordon has a 0.6 second, well now it's 0.5 second lead here. I think it could be because if they pan back over to Jeff Gordon, we would see him struggle in lap traffic. Yeah, because I think if the race were to stay green, I think lap traffic is going to be key. In a first place or a second place finish. I think Jeff Gordon. I think Jeff Gordon would like that win. I think it would give more. I think it would give Jeff Gordon more recognition. I think it would give Jeff Gordon more recognition to be it would give Jeff Gordon the recognition. If Jeff Gordon won this race, it would give him more recognition of him being hey, Brad Keselowski, hey, Joey Logano, I'm a threat too, So they're saying that the final caution flag was after lap 362 now. On it. So this race stayed green. I don't think I'll have much to talk about in my race review. We'll see. We'll see. I think we'll talk about it. I think we'll talk about it instead is the next round. So okay, so if I remember correctly, this round right here, this round right here is the contender round. The next round is the challenge round, and the third round is the elimination round, and then the fourth final round is of course the championship round. Ooh. Okay, so Hamlin. Okay, so even though Hamlin is 5 points ahead of Kurt Busch, I think he's good. I think he's good on the go. I think at this point, I think the worst thing that could happen for Hamlin is to blow a tire and hit the wall, and then fall like two laps down. I think that would be like Hamlin's like worst nightmare right now in this race. But I think we're back. I think we're like okay. I think we're like okay to the good to the good here. As Kurt Busch is now put a lap down here. Now here, but that's really not going to affect his like. But that's really not going to like affect his because Kurt Busch because of course Kurt Busch is not just because Kurt Busch is obviously not going to like lose like a lap because he's a lap down. His points between him and Kane stay the same. Well, Kozlowski he got a little loose off the corner. I don't know. If I stay, I don't know. If Gordon and Kozlowski, if Gordon and Kozlowski could stay like this, could stay like this for the next like 25 laps here, we could possibly see a good finish on our way, but we'll just have to go see. Oh. So because he's getting here, he's challenging Biffle, and if Casey can get by Biffle, it'd be one more extra point to be safe. So as I predicted, this race really is not going to this race is really not going to live up to what we see at to what we saw at like New Hampshire, Chicagoland, obviously. But at the same time, the NASCAR fans, I'd be like, well, what did you expect? You know. Oh well, if we could see a caution here, which I actually don't think that caution will come out, it would be like kind of amazing if a caution came out. Yeah, I don't know. I think for drivers like Greg Biffle and Eric Almirola, how they can already just like see the inside. They can already just like see the inside. But when it comes to AGL, not AGL, when it comes to Almirola, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. Now maybe Eric Almirola would not. Now maybe Eric Almirola would have not have been in this position if he didn't have the injury of Chicago. But I'm saying that but I'm saying, but when it comes to Almirola, what all has to do with him as as we now I believe approach on 3 hours. What I would say to Almirola is that next time you're in the chase, you have to work on being more consistent. I think that's something that Almirola needs to work on consistency because Almirola he performed really well in Chicagoland and performed really well in Hampshire, but when you're in the chase in this new chase format, you can't have even if you have like 2 good finishes, you can't even if you have like 2 good finishes in the chase, you can't really have like a bad finish. So I think next year Almirola should work on trying to be more consistent. Because I do think like Almirola, I think he does have potential to make it. I think he did. I think he does, and I think that he did have potential to make it into the second round. And I think he even had. And I think he even had potential to make it into the third round. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. It's just simply amazing to see him. It's somewhat amazing to see him in this position after seeing where he was in like 08 and 09. He lost his cup right. He lost his cup right in 09, and then he had a race in the truck series, and then he had to like go race in the truck series to try like reboot his career. And then he got right like Richard Payne Motorsports. I think at this point, Richard Payne Motorsports and Roush Racing, Roush should go to Penske Engines. I think that's what they should do. So now Kevin Hart is pretty much on like the verge of going left down. So it's amazing. So it's amazing to see the recovery. Kevin Harvick, after that happens, somewhat amazing. But Kevin Harvick, you have to, but Kevin Harvick in that 14, you have to improve better, because Kevin Harvick, you really do not want to afford this. I mean, you really cannot really afford this in the challenge round, in the elimination round, and if you get to the final 4, you simply just cannot afford that. You just can't. Well, I went to the. I don't know. I'm already starting to think of like. I'm already starting to think of like my lines for. This is Jeff Gordon. He's a 4-time winner at Dover. I believe Jeff Gordon won. I believe Jeff Gordon won the first Dover race on concrete in 1995. Speaking of the like first race, speaking of the first race actually, speaking of the like first race, that first race, if you YouTube it, the first race actually had a pretty huge crash actually had a pretty huge crash on off one. So 8 laps to go here. Top five right now is Gordon, Keselowski, Johnson, Logano, and Kenseth. You know, so all five of those drivers, great top 10 runs. Wow. So here we go here. So we're almost like five. So we almost have like 5 laps to go here. So what I'll say right now is that I almost have a caution. Good run for Allmendinger, Busch, Biffle, and Amarola. Hope to meet you in the chase again next year. I'll just say. I'll just like call it now. I don't think that caution is gonna come out. If Casey Kane does make through, if Casey Kane does make it through, I think what Casey Kane needs to do in this next round here is insanely like up his like game. You know, I feel like Casey Kane. I think he does have potential to be in that elimination round, but he has some like problems that team like needs to address needs like address for. But we'll see here is that, you know, because the points will because after this race the points will reset. And Kansas, Charlotte, and Talladega are three tracks that anything can happen. But here we go. So here we go. White flag. We'll have to go here. Dover, Jeff Gordon right here. It's been 26 Dover races since his last Dover win. I believe I believe this race 13 years ago was his last Dover win. Okay, so Jeff Gordon here coming out. Turn number 4 here. Jeff Gordon will come out. Turn number 4 here. The checkered flag is in the air, and Jeff Gordon wins the 2014 AAA 400 here at Dover. So great win for Jeff Gordon. Second place Keselowski, third place Johnson, and fourth place Logano, fifth place Kenseth. So it's a good top 5 for all 5 drivers there, especially Jimmy. So even though Jeff Gordon wins the race. So AJ Allmendinger, Biffle, Kurt Busch, and Almirola get eliminated. But let's face it here. I don't think that like any of those 4 were going to, you know, they were definitely not going to win the championship. And I felt like that. They were definitely not going to get past the first round, you know. Okay, so Jeff Gordon here. Okay, so this one is good for Jeff Gordon. So this one is definitely good for Jeff Gordon here. You can use this plan, even though even though even though we don't even though we don't go even though we don't go to any more mile-and-a-half concrete tracks uh, this year. This year, I think we'll definitely have a large year for it. Next week we're going to Kansas. We won Kansas back in May, so we'll just see. I could see him easily winning at Charlotte. And I could see him winning at Martinsville definitely. So he's got some good tracks ahead of him. Anyway. However, I'm going to end the live stream now. So thank you to everyone who participated and came to this live stream. Thank you to everyone who watched it. And so on. So thank you for watching. The race review should come out shortly. See you all later, and bye.